right.
So you want to see Saker?
Yes, sir.
So we've got Saker right there. That gentleman's got.
All right.
So Saker is got three things that make it different from any other centerfire rifle can on the market today. The first of which, starting at the back, is the MAD mount. And the MAD mount stands for Modular Accessory Attachment Device.
Right.
We wanted to get the same kind of modularity for mounting systems in a centerfire rifle can that's been available on the market for a long time in submachine gun cans.
Right.
So MAD mount has interchangeable back caps which allow you to change the mounting system.
Okay.
So we offer a direct thread version, which you saw right there, and that screws right in. And there's actually a tapered gas seal and a jam nut. And a jam nut was designed to use AR-15 stock tool.
Right. All right.
So you just put that in there and then you just cinch that down and that would lock the MAD mount in. Now, you can change that and put our own mount, which we call the Trifecta, which is our proprietary fast attach mount and flash hider system. Trifecta, that'll screw right in there. And that's a really cool system because all the complicated stuff is in the can, not on the mount. So you don't have any fine teeth or anything to get damaged on there that get banged around as you're hobbling around on a rock or windshield or whatever. And if you look at the Trifecta, it's got a couple things on the flash hider that are pretty unique. It's got a long bearing surface and tapered gas seal here, so it kind of looks like the shoulder on a rifle cartridge.
Right.
And this is very much like the chamber of a rifle. That interface is a lot like chambering a cartridge into a rifle.
That's pretty cool.
So it goes in, and you'll notice that it's got some ears or lugs there, and those interface with that. This will only drop in one way, so if I put it in like that, it won't mount until you go there. That helps with repeatability. So it only goes on one way. So now, once you seat that in there, and I'll show you here, there's actually three little lugs that'll pop out. They'll come around the back of the flash hider, and that's sort of like closing the bolt on a rifle. And then when you start to tighten the Trifecta down just by screwing it, it's about 2.5 turns.
Okay.
You're sucking it up in, just like closing the bolt on a bolt action rifle. It's on there, it's solid. And then when you unscrew it and you get it all the way unscrewed, those three legs disengage and you lift it straight up and off.
Alright.
So really a pretty cool system. The other thing that's kind of cool about the Trifecta is we call it the Trifecta RS.
Right.
And it's got three different prong lengths, and we did that to kill resonance. A lot of flash hiders will ring when you shoot them. We were able to, we were able to kill that effectively just by changing the length of those three. Just so simple. Just little things like that.
But, yep.
So you
did you add flash to it when you made them unequal links? Did it kind of bring flash back if you shoot without it at night?
No, the flash suppressor was unaffected by the
That's cool.
Time, so it is pretty cool. So you can change that. We can sell it with this. We can sell it with direct thread, or a lot of our customers, myself included,
already have that mount.
Already have this mount.
Right.
And a lot of guns running those mounts at about $100 a piece.
Right.
It's no small task to change those.
Right.
So
not to mention the fact you might already have one of those cans.
Right.
So
yeah, exactly. So we wanted to make a mount that would also interface with that particular mount using a little different system, because we actually had our own patent through SWR on this product called ASR, Active Spring Retention. And so the way this works is you put this MAD mount, the 51T, we call it 51T MAD mount, silencer, and then you've got your 51T flash hider, and it'll screw in and shoulder. And then there's a lock ring here, and there's this one spring, but it's got teeth on both sides. So when you turn that lock ring, those teeth actually engage on the teeth on the outside of the flash hider. So it actually has twice the bearing surface of the original manufacturer.
Really
when you put it on, you don't get that kind of one-two wobble that you would get with the original.
Right.
It's actually a little stronger than the original one was.
Okay.
So just tons of modularity in the back.
Right.
There's other companies coming out with one that works with TNT Phantom flash hiders. And several other manufacturers, and we've been approached by several different muzzle brake compensator manufacturers wanting us to make a MAD mount to interface with the silencer also. So
that's great.
That's a pretty cool feature of the can, the MAD mount. The next thing that's really cool is the Hopalon baffle. The Hopalon baffle we designed from inception. The goal was not sound suppression, the goal was abrasion resistance.
Right.
Because that's the first thing that'll wear out a rifle can. Blast baffle or erosion. particularly on a machine gun or on an SBR. So we started playing with it and tinkering with it and kicking around ideas, and what we came up with was all the cans that are on the market right now typically have a cone that faces the muzzle, and the 90-degree surface is where you get the erosion, and that's where it starts to get bigger and bigger apertures. So we kind of went the other way. We went with an inverse cone, almost like a funnel. There's no flat surface for the impacts to happen on, so it funnels it down through. So there's almost no erosion on the blast baffle. When we did that, we started to notice the second, third baffles were really getting hammered.
Right.
So we actually had to create a back feature as well that actually protected the blast baffle and then redirected gas on the backside to also protect the second and third baffles.
Right.
So the Hopalon baffle not only protects itself, but it also protects the baffles behind it.
Yep.
So just the geometry change did that, and we were able to actually make stainless about the same as far as abrasion resistant goes in the application as Inconel. We're seeing similar performance that Inconel can.
Nice.
We also were looking for a new material, and we found a new material that's actually more abrasion resistant than Inconel at temperature. So between the new geometry and the new material, it's like the strongest blast baffle out there. And it's the toughest can you can get for a machine gun or an SBR. And the whole stack is made of the new material. The Hopalon baffle is the only kind of new baffle. It has traditional cone baffles behind it, and they are made of the new material. But the Hopalon's actually in there. It's about that big.
Okay. So it sounds like that's made for running on a 10-inch gun, maybe even shorter.
Almost all of our testing has been on 10-inch gun.
What kind of dB sound reduction have you found?
We're hitting right around 134, 132 with it total. We were kind of a little scared the Hopalon baffle because of the shape would make it louder. It actually was 1 or 2 decibels quieter putting it in than the traditional cone.
That's
that was kind of a surprise. A nice one.
Yep, absolutely. So one thing Silencero's always been great about is having gear on the market, and you can go to a store and they'll have it. Is this on the market yet?
Not
When
yet.
will this be hitting the market?
We're hopefully going to start shipping them around July or August.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Perfect.
So we went over MAD, we went over Hopalon, and now we go to front.
Yep.
We have kind of an industry-first interchangeable front cap. And the primary reason we did that was actually because a lot of guys running SBRs, machine guns with cans, still getting flash.
Right.
A lot of flash out there on the can, even though a lot of people think the can will kill the flash completely.
Right.
And on a long barrel, it largely will.
Yeah.
But on an SBR or machine gun, you still get a streak of fire coming out of there. Well,
you notice it at night too, because
you really notice it at night. A lot of guys started to not run suppressors on the SBRs because the flash suppression is more important to them than the sound suppression was. So we wanted to put a flash hider on the front of the can, but we didn't want it to have to be there, right? We didn't want you to have to buy it with that.
Right.
So we made it modular. So I can actually take this front cap off. That's the actual welded silencer. It's not like a threaded front. It's
so you're not removing
welded.
Okay, that's great.
Here's your front cap right there.
And if you have a baffle strike on it, I guess it'd probably just blow it right off.
That was kind of a secondary benefit of this was this has become almost a sacrificial part. Most of your baffle strikes happen on that exit aperture. And it's always been, well, it's just a little kiss. I don't want to send it back and not have my can for a couple months while they fix it. Well, now you just take that off and chuck it and put a new one on.
What's MSRP going to be on this item?
MSRP is $12.
Good luck to you guys on that. I think you'll sell them.
Yeah,
I'd be interested. I think that might be my next 5.56 can.
Excellent. So here's the flash hider. We just screw into the front.
Yeah.
And you take pretty much any flat tool and cinch it down. So now I've got flash suppression, and it's got a little kind of artsy stuff on the end.
I'm assuming that first tool is going to be commercially available, or it's going to come with the can? Or?
Oh, this one?
Yes.
Yeah, no, that'll come with the can. That's actually our Osprey tool.
Okay.
So we didn't want to make another tool, so we just made it work with that one.
Perfect.
And then this, of course, anybody that's got
your Leatherman or your whatever you're carrying in your pack.
Yeah.